Fear is freedom. Subjugation is liberation. Contradiction is truth. These are the truths of this world. Hello, listeners. Welcome to episode 31 of For Weebs, That Anime Podcast. I almost forgot the name for a minute there because I was just thinking about Kill la Kill.
That was beautiful.
My name is Liam. Life Fiber, Synchronization, Kamui, Senkits.
Hi.
I think Liam's been dreaming of this episode for like far too long.
I can't follow that.
I should have. I mean, I know like my classic characteristic is my monotone delivery, but I still, I definitely didn't do that justice.
No. It was perfect.
It was
Liam.
beautiful, Liam.
Anyways, who the fuck are you guys?
I don't know.
My name's Leah, and I guess it doesn't really matter at this point because.
Sorry.
Because, yeah, I can't follow up with that.
My name is Becca, and your device is modest, much like your breasts.
Oh god.
Nudist the beach.
My name is Veda. Hi everyone.
Solid intro.
I don't
everyone.
have any cool stuff to say, so that's what you get.
Just remind us how you're not playing Pokemon Go, Veda.
I'm playing Tappy Tap games.
Ooh, tap games.
So there.
As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
And watching Hunter x Hunter, like you said. There you go.
Oh, for real? Still?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm almost done season 1.
And
Does it get better?
I am enjoying it. I don't know if everybody would enjoy it, but I do.
Hey,
Okay.
I kept going on Parasite the Maxim, and yeah, things got interesting. There were some erotic fantasies.
Oh my god.
There's been more death. There's been so much
Oh dear.
going on.
My goodness.
We seriously need to have, like, a recap episode where we just talk about all the animes that we continued to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we can do a spoiler-heavy episode of whether things get better or worse or stay the same.
Yes, we should.
which animes we got wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyways, Leah, did you introduce yourself yet?
I did.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
Okay,
she went
I
right after
couldn't
you.
My
remember.
name's Leah, and I'm forgettable.
It was only forgettable because Liam's was so great, and I put that on Liam.
And because you're all pigs in human clothing.
It's too close to
I
home.
love your commitment to this, Liam.
He's so
That
committed.
wasn't
He's been waiting for this.
personal. I was quoting
Maybe-
it, okay?
Liam, why don't you give the listeners a little bit of background as to
Why you keep
So-
yelling
why
things
you're
at us?
so committed?
Yeah.
The topic for this week's episode, or the theme, I didn't never decide on the final name, but I guess for now we'll go with animes with big, sweet swords and cool fan service sometimes.
Swords and
But
Solid.
boobs.
like
That works.
any variation of that, or yeah, it could be called like knives and titties. Like, so the good anime was Kill la Kill, one of my favorites, and then the bad anime was Chivalry of a Failed Knight,
Yep.
Yep.
which is also referred to as Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry.
Ooh, that sounded
Perfect.
good. Nice.
Yeah, I was trying to talk like they did in Garzy's Wing there.
I feel like you nailed it.
It was a lot better than Garzy's Wing.
Mhm.
Kill la Kill. I've watched it. I've watched the whole thing before. I've watched the first 3 episodes of it like 4 times, I think.
Wow.
When we were first doing the like episodes for 4 Weebs, we did Kill la Kill, and since it never like got released as an official episode, I felt like it, I liked it so much it deserved to be in one of the real legit episodes of the podcast, so I'm looking for a way to weasel it in there.
Considering the lost
And he
episodes
finally
will-
did.
Yeah, and I think the lost episodes will kind of officially stay lost because they were
Yeah.
such shitty
Oh,
quality.
they're terrible.
Yeah.
We've
Listeners
talked
will never
enough
get to know
about
how we
them.
feel about Naruto.
Oh, someone
they
can bring
know
it
how we
back.
feel.
Although I think it's been pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff we've said about the lost episodes is really all you need to know. It's not really worth listening to them. And so Chivalry of a Failed Knight, back at Outafest, which we keep referencing because it was sweet. Had some anime screenings, and I had some time to kill while my company was standing in line for autographs. I was done, so I just went and sat in at a random screening, and I saw this piece of hot garbage, and I only lasted 2 episodes, and then I left. So then I picked it for the bad anime.
So you had to make the rest of us suffer with you, Liam.
Because only watch the steamiest garbage on this podcast for you, dear listeners.
Jeez, that description. I don't think I can top that description.
No.
I'm just on fire tonight, aren't I?
You are.
Liam's lit.
I'm also very humble.
Incredibly humble.
Clearly.
The most humble of all of us. You're the best at being humble.
Did we want to talk about the bad anime or the good anime first?
Let's talk about the bad one first, so then
I'm
you
eager
can rant
to hear
about Kill for as long as you want.
Are you sure?
I'm eager to hear about what you guys think of it, and I'm as eager as I'm eager to do that as much as I'm eager to talk about Kill. So let's start with the bad.
Okay.
There are some humans capable of using magical power to manifest their souls as weapons and control forces beyond normal comprehension. These people are known as blazers, and those who are recognized as such can undergo training at academies to become mage knights. Iki Kurogane is an aspiring mage knight. Despite being considered the worst student at Hagen Academy as an F-ranked blazer, the lowest rank possible. One morning, he accidentally stumbles upon Stella Vermilion, visiting princess and A-ranked blazer, who is just enrolled at Hagen in a state of undress.
Naturally, of course.
As a result, she challenges him to a duel where the loser will be the winner's slave. It seems like a surefire win for Stella, but could there be more to Iki than meets the eye? The Transformers?
Robots in disguise.
So what were your guys', I guess I should say that Becca and Veda watched this one.
Yeah.
So,
Veda,
spill the beans.
Veda, start us up. Let's go.
Okay. So I don't know. This anime just seemed when I started watching it just seemed so generic harem. Like, just take any harem you've seen ever, and that is this anime. It's like harem at a magical school. So, do you remember the episode where we watched The Irregular at Magic High School?
That
sure
one.
do.
All that incestual niceness.
Yeah, this show kind of reminded me of that show in a way. I don't think it's as bad as that show, but it wasn't good either. But yeah. What did you think, Becca?
Well, first off, I want to say whoever's ripping paper in the background,
It's not me!
Second
I'm not
off,
ripping it. I shuffled one piece to get it out of the way. I'm sorry.
I can
It's
hear it
okay,
all.
Leah.
I
I'm
hear
sorry.
everything.
Just give me 1 second.
It's okay,
It's
Leah.
done. It's done.
Well, hey, I
Okay.
mean, my intro this episode was pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as the cat last week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's
That was
a
epic.
star.
I forgot about that.
She's a magical star. Back to this anime. It's a sexy hot mess, and I'm like torn between.
In a bad way, though, right?
Well, like I'm torn between. Like,
Becca, no.
okay, so obviously I like punishment and like watching horrible, shitty things and trash. So I'm really torn between watching like more of this or just like lighting it on fire and walking away. This anime is not good.
No.
Sexy hot mess. Not good. Trash fire is actually a really good description, Liam.
Crash fire, nice.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think it was sexy.
Oh, but the
That's
tits.
That doesn't make it sexy.
So I'd like to point out that like every episode is like it takes time out of its day to have a sexy fan servicey moment, and not just
Yeah.
like a little fan servicey moment, but like here's almost everything hanging out for you moment. And
Not episode 3, though.
well, episode 3 it was a smaller moment than most, but they still
So wasn't
gave...
episode 3 the one with the bath, or was that episode 2?
That's
No,
episode
episode
Of
2.
course there was
Which
an
one's the
episode
bath?
with a bath. Why wouldn't there be?
Well, duh.
So
Not just any bath.
episode
Oh, no.
3, like I said, episode 3, it took a shorter moment out of its time to give us some fan service, but it was still there.
Oh,
There's
yes.
still plenty of tits for everyone, and that's really generous of the creators. So,
Thank you, creators.
yeah. I don't know. Where do we want to start with this, Veda? Besides talking about the sexy moments.
I don't even know. I
was gonna say, it's funny that you mentioned the irregular at Magic High School, because, like, right before we were talking about it, I had written that in my notes, that I was like, this is so exactly like the irregular at Magic High School, with, like, the main character being so good at what he does that everyone thinks he's like, shit.
Yes! It was, like, the exact same show!
Yeah, so he's in the Blazer people, which
he is a Blazer.
He's a Blazer.
Like, low ranking.
He's stoned all the time. No.
Dude, he's such a Blazer.
Yeah, that's it.
He's out of school to become a knight, but he has this magical power that lets him summon, like, a magical sword, and that also gives him other magical powers.
I think that's what all the Blazers can do.
Yeah.
There was so much reading in this, like, so much subtitles.
They spouted exposition, like, randomly, and without, like, they were just like, and now we'll just explain the entire plot to you right here in this moment.
So at a certain point, I was like, I looked away for a moment to, like, yell at my cat, and then I looked back and I was like, I just missed 5 lines of dialogue.
I did the same thing.
And I don't care, I'm not going back to watch it.
Same! I was just like, I don't give a fuck if I don't know what's happening.
And, like, it obviously, I understood more or less what was going on. So anyway, he's at school, he's a Blazer, he's super magical, he's super great at fighting.
But he's super low ranked.
Yeah, he's super low ranked because he sucks at tests. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, not this again.
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, pretty much. So the Stella, the new princess that he's, like, rooming with, the magical princess,
who's fucking awesome and is an A rank.
Yeah, she's all shitty to him because he's an F rank, and how dare they room her with an F rank student?
Well, no, the whole thing happened was, like, she was mad at him because he walked into his room and she was in there getting undressed.
Yeah, in, like, the middle of the living room.
Yes!
Yeah. Which, you know what, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying that she isn't necessarily wrong.
No, she wasn't wrong, but it was still just, like, as soon as that happened, I was like, this fucking anime is so predictable and just like, you're hitting all the basic harem marks.
So here was my issue with her freaking out about him walking in on her naked.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't she have been told she has a roommate? I feel like she would have.
She would have.
It just didn't make any sense in that direction, but I was like, whatever, it's kind of funny, her reaction's funny,
I mean, his reaction was funny, too.
Yeah, like, his reaction is to immediately, like, drop trow.
He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll compensate for it, and he, like, rips his shirt off, and he's like, see, I'm naked, too.
Yeah, which was, like, excellent, because I was like, quick thinking, very good. And she freaks out, they go to the dean. The dean is like, this really sucks for both of you.
Going back to the roommate thing, his name was on the outside of the door.
You know, I don't even care, because to me it was just, like, a plot device to give them that whole, like, we don't get along moment. Just to get them to the next point of their relationship. Like, it's so clearly just a weak
that's
writing
all the
moment.
plot is in this show, is it's just, like, a device to get them towards
naked.
More harem-y, sexy times.
It's a device to get them naked and in awkward sexual positions.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, they realize that they're supposed to be rooming together. She challenges him to a duel where she says, whoever wins gets to be the master, and the other person has to be their servant, and I'm going to treat you like a dog when you're my servant.
Basically a slave.
Then he kicks her ass, and she, like, freaks out that she has to be his servant now, and she expects him to be all sexual and stuff, and he's like, no, it's fine. We're not going to do that. Like, you made that deal, I didn't. I'm not going to treat you that way.
Kind of sounds like No Game, No Life.
Oh, no.
The whole deal.
But,
like, no, just shittier. The deal part. The, like, you have to be my slave.
Maybe. I haven't gotten up to that point in No Game, No Life, but
it's way better in No Game, No Life.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it's actually comparable in quality. I'm just saying it kind of reminds me of that scenario.
Yeah, so it's really weird because this whole master-servant thing keeps coming up, and every time it comes up, he's like, no, that's not the way things are. Quit saying that's the way things are. You're not my servant. And she's like, yes, I am.
Yeah, she's, like, really devoted to it for some reason.
Yeah, and like the bath part. Fuck.
Yes, the bath. I'm not even there yet. So,
sorry to jump ahead.
She walks like, all I can think of are the sexy moments where, like, she walks in and he's laying on the bed, and, like, he's
God.
asleep and his shirt is up a bit, so she goes to, like, poke his back, which makes no sense.
She just starts, like,
Touching him.
straight up feeling him up when he's asleep. And you're
And
just
then
like,
he rolls...
this is really creepy.
So he rolls over and he, like, catches her arm, and rather than just pulling her arm out, she straddles him.
Yes.
And I was like,
I can't get my arm out. And then she, like, gets it out and she's like,
acting like it's all his fault.
It's all his fault, and there's no way to get out of the situation. And it's just, like, so over the top and so ridiculous and so, like, fan servicey and obvious that it's kind of funny. That's why I liked it a little bit, because I was like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
fair.
ridiculous.
I just, I hated it. I hated it a lot.
Well, and then there's the bath scene in episode 2 where he's in the bath, and like, this is like skipping a bunch of the plot from episode 2, but just like the sexy parts. He's in the bath, he's having a fucking relaxing bath, and she's like, oh, I'm going to come in, and he's like, oh, okay, no, wait, don't, and he jumps up, and he's not wearing anything, and she walks in, and she's wearing, like, this piece of string that just barely covers her nipples, and she's like, I'm going to give you a bath and wash you, because you're my master, and I'm your servant.
This sounds like a really bad porn.
Yeah. I can see.
Just wait.
Yeah, I can see where that is. So, she's like, no, I'm going to wash you because I'm your servant. And he's like, for the fuck's sakes, woman, no, you're not. And she's like, yes, I am. I'm going to do this. So she's washing him. And then, she ends up behind him and she's washing his back. And then she starts asking him if he likes boobs. And he's like, yes. So then she pushes her boobs.
What kind of question is that?
So she pushes her boobs against him. And then her top magically falls off because that happens.
Yep.
And then she freaks out because she's naked with him. And I'm like, but you
were mashing your boobs against his back. Like, what the fuck?
You were barely wearing anything, and you walked in, and then that little bit of anything fell off of you, and now you feel nervous about it? Like, come on. So great in a ridiculous way. That's not even, like, getting to the incestuous bullshit that happens.
Can I talk about his sister?
Is somebody have a puppy? Is that Jake?
What?
No, it sounds like a motorbike.
Well, I thought it was a motorbike, and then I thought it was a puppy. Whatever.
No, someone did just drive by.
Okay. Veda, please tell us about his sister.
Okay, so this whole thing started, and they're sitting there, and he's talking. He said something that alluded to the fact. Yeah, he tells the main chick, the pink-haired chick, that he has a sister, and she's all
Stella.
like, but are you're not gonna tell me you're, like, not blood-related or something? And he's like, oh, no, we're full-blooded siblings, why would you ask that? And I was like, oh, so they're being self-aware, so they're, so I was like, oh, so they're not gonna go there, right? I was like, oh, cool, I respect that.
Respect is
like,
not for this anime.
20 minutes later, I was like, oh, his sister shows up, and she's like, all like, oh, Nii-chan. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So she runs over to him, and they're both like, I haven't seen you in forever. And she's like, yeah, I haven't seen you. And then she just, like, throws herself towards him and kisses him on the mouth.
Full kiss.
With, like, full on. And he's just like, what the fuck? At that point, I was so ready to turn this anime off and just burn my computer.
Like, you're so right. Like, from the sounds of Beta, it's, like, literally, like, every harem you've ever seen. But to the point where it's so much like every harem you've ever seen, you just want to, like, kill yourself because you're like,
well,
I was like, this is so predictable.
All the stereotypes ever.
But kind of
fact,
worse.
When I was watching it in, like, the screening room at Otafest, when that part happened, the whole room just went like, oh. And then the person sitting up in front of me, like, threw her hands up. It was like, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because there's the part where, like, when she finishes kissing him, it's not that she's finished kissing him, but, like, spit hangs between them for a minute. And I was like, no!
No.
And then she keeps talking, and she's like, oh no, we haven't seen each other in so long, so that means that we've been longing for each other for 4 years, so is it normal for brothers and sisters to do this? And then she's like,
lines?
She says, even sleeping together at night would be a simple greeting for us. And I was like, oh my god.
Yes.
I almost killed myself.
Cringing.
Foreshadowing.
I just imagine Veda, like, standing up from her computer, turning around, throwing a match, and walking away, and, like, a big explosion happening.
I was so done at that point. My brain was just like, oh, I'm turning this off. No. Oh god.
But
nope. And then they like, after they have all this bullshit, they try and like give the main character a tragic past, and his family doesn't love him, and I was like, I don't fucking care.
Well, okay, can we straighten out why his family didn't love him? Because that was one of those moments where I looked away, and then I came back, and I was like, oh, I missed like 3 plot points. Whoops.
Honestly, I think I missed it too, because he was just sort of like, they never liked me, and I was like,
yeah,
what?
Isn't it they're like, you're not good enough, so we're not gonna like,
basically,
we're gonna ostracize you while we all go do cool things, and we're still gonna ostracize you for no reason.
Because his grandpa was a samurai or something, and so
he's like a 5-year-old child. He's a 5-year-old child when they decide to ostracize him, but somehow he's the kindest, most caring person that you could possibly meet, and he's super great at everything, by the way.
He's like a Mary Sue.
I wouldn't even say he's a Mary Sue. He's a Mary Sue for, like, what a girl might like in a guy, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's super blank. Like, all this crazy shit is happening around him, and he's just like, just another day, being the center of attention, carrying on with my life.
He doesn't really react to it very much. Or if he does, it lasts for, like, a second. Like, even when his sister, like, fucking kisses him, he's just like, oh, whatever. He doesn't care. Like, 2 seconds later, and you're just like, dude.
Come on.
That's your sister!
Dude, that's your sister.
Well, like, yeah, it's just, he's just so bland, but, like, not quite bland enough. Like, they obviously gave him just a touch of spice.
A little bit.
Like, the littlest bit to make him, like, not completely flat. But everyone else around him is batshit insane. Like, Stella, the princess chick, is, like, first she hates him, then she has a crush on him, and now
she's, like, tsundere, so, you know.
Well, she has, like, a crush on him, which makes her immediately jealous of anyone else who comes near him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, disgustingly jealous. And then his sister shows up, who also happens to be disgustingly jealous of anyone who goes near him.
Yep.
Which adds just, like, a whole new level
typical
of
harem
weirdness.
Yep.
Just so weird. I thought, no, I've watched harems where people aren't like that.
Well, yeah,
but this is like a typical
bad
harem.
Are, like, like,
so it's,
plot device harem.
So it's just, and then, like, on top of it, it looks nice, like, it's well drawn and everything, but it's kind of suffering from that whole, the main characters look like crazy, wacky anime characters, and everyone else is so plain that...
Oh, really?
No one, like, the main characters stand out all the time.
I kind of saw it as, like, the character designs, like, were really similar to a lot of other shows I've seen.
Yeah, well, like, the designs weren't necessarily original, they just were, pretty, like, obvious choices, but
well, I mean,
they were visually appealing in that I wasn't like, God, these people are ugly, or this animation is bad. So it's
wasn't
didn't even pop a half chub.
It wasn't Gilgamesh.
Well, I did pop a half chub during the bath scene.
Oh, of course.
Oh god,
boy, that was intimate. But well, then so the third episode, Iki and his sister and Stella and Alice, who's his sister's roommate, who happens to be a transsexual, who's a man, transgendered, not transsexual, transgendered. My apologies.
It's a woman? Yes.
Yeah, she identifies as a woman, but she uses the men's washroom, which was weird.
I was confused by that too.
Yeah, well, especially because she's like, I'm a woman, and they're in the men's bathroom, and he's like, okay. And I was like, but if you're a woman, you would be in the woman's washroom. Like,
I don't know.
Maybe it's the woman's washroom. Anyway.
Maybe it's because he was, like, dressed like a man. I don't know how this works. I don't want to get too far into it.
Yeah, perhaps this is another, like...
Before we start offending people.
Yeah.
Well, this is something kind of like the United States, where they're like, I don't care if you identify as a woman. If you had a penis when you were born, you have to go in the men's washroom, regardless of how you look. So, like... That's why I'm like, she identifies as a woman, so she should be in the woman's washroom, not the men's washroom. That's weird to me, but whatever. It's for like equality and freedom, whatever. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, they go to like a pastry shop, and the sister gets like some like whipped cream on her face.
Oh.
And I looked away for a minute, but I think Iki like licks it off her face.
No. He takes his finger and then he like.
Okay,
like, well, wipes it off and then licks it off of his finger.
Yeah, like that weird. Yeah. So then Stella just like fucking face plants into her face a plate of cream.
Okay, that was the only moment that actually kind of made me laugh. Because then he's like, that's stupid, I'm going to get a towel. And he just gets up and walks away.
And her entire face is just covered in cream. She's
Yeah.
like, why isn't he doing the same thing for me that he did for his sister? It's like, because you're being an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. That moment was kind of funny.
That was just like one of those things where I was just like, come on. And then it just keeps going downhill. The mall gets taken over by terrorist people.
They don't actually explain who these people are, but like they have some sort of past with the main character.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're looking for him or something.
Yeah.
They're looking for a hymn of some sort, like a royal hymn. And they take everybody hostage. Well, they shoot all the men and they take all the women and children hostage. So it's up to like the crew to save everyone. The sister and Stella are, like, in the group of people taken hostage, and Stella jumps up and is, like, one of the terrorist men go to shoot a child, and Stella jumps up and, like, gets in the way, and then decides to start fighting them, and then they beat her, and the guy who beats her, there's, like, a whole bunch of plot shit that I'm missing, but you know what, if you really want to know, just go fucking watch this piece of trash yourself.
Yeah.
When they beat her, he's like, I'll tell you what, I'll let you go if you replace that kid and take all your clothes off. And she's like, what? Okay. Strips down
She
to her
just
underwear.
starts stripping.
And it's just, like I said, lots of tits. So many tits. And, like, she's stacked. That was actually one of the parts I thought was really funny when she first met the sister in episode 2. And they're fighting between one another, and they're, like, insulting each other's bodies because...
Oh, yeah, that part was actually pretty funny.
Well, because they're, like, wet bag, no tits, blah, blah. And I was like, that's kind of funny. This is such a piece of garbage.
At the beginning, Becca's
good.
like, I can't decide. I think I might actually kind of like it. And now she's like, no.
It's like Super
now that
Lovers.
we talk about it, no.
It's like Super Lovers, where it's like, my gross curiosity is curious what more happens.
Nothing. I'm
But-
pretty sure it's nothing.
Well, like, I really want them to, like, just get over the whole, like, they're not going to because it's a harem. But I
Yes.
really just would like it if they just, like, finish the relationship bullshit and then something more exciting happened.
Well, because, like, the end of the third episode, like, some kind of interesting stuff happens when they get into, like, the fight, and that one dude's shooting bullets at the main character, and he, like, slows down time.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, some shit, and he, like, goes through the bullets, and I was like, that's kind of interesting.
But I still stand by, I think the majority of this anime is just, it's plot device to get the two main characters naked with one another.
Yes, it is.
And like, it's being so transparent and that being its main goal that it's just like, sure, I'll watch a really long, drawn-out hentai if I have to.
Yeah, it's not good. Can we talk about the intro for a second?
Ooh, I liked the intro, not the song so much, but
I really liked it.
yeah, the visual part of it, I really loved. I was like, that's pretty sweet looking.
The
And
only
it's-
thing was, I was like, intro seems way too edgy for what the show
Yeah.
actually is.
No, but the show in general is like, quote-unquote edgy.
Not
Where,
really.
like everybody's got a tragic past, and everyone's broken and hurt, and
But
they
they're
all
all
seem to
like
get together
running
as
around,
friends.
throwing their clothes everywhere. So
Yeah.
just like the intro is like people. It's all black and white with like red highlights and stuff. So
Yeah.
it looks, and they're like fighting, and red stuff's going everywhere, and there's blood, and you're just like, this seems like an action show. And then you watch it, and it's like happy, pretty colors everywhere, and
Hey, maybe
people
it's
throwing
gonna
their
be like
clothes
school
off.
days where you think it's one thing and all of a sudden everyone's dead at the end.
and everybody's
Maybe.
siblings. So
Ugh, can't
yeah,
know.
the show definitely doesn't do the intro any justice.
You know,
The intro looks so good, like
it's
the way
yeah.
it keeps flipping, like between Iki and Stella, and like their faces kind of mesh together, and their weapons. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was a really good, like, dynamic intro.
If I had just seen the intro before watching the show, I would have been kind of interested in it. Like, I would have been like, hey, that looks like a fun, kind of cool, dark show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't- there's
No.
just something
No.
about, like, kids in school and magic and fighting.
Kids in magical school
In
with
magical
harem,
school
and they're
and harem.
ranked, and the one kid is actually really good, but he's a low rank.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've
Well-
never seen this before.
Did you notice, like, throughout the whole thing, when anytime, like, the school director pops up, she's, like, slowly making it more and more so that Iki can be, like, the beast of the school rather than, like, the school laughingstock?
No.
Like, they modified, one of the plot points is they've modified how they choose the person to, like, represent the school at some big final tournament at the end of the year.
Right,
and it used to be all about your grades, but now it's all about who can win the most battles, and Iki is really good at battling people, but really shit at school, like we said before. So it's like,
she's basically just helping him.
Yeah, it's pretty much setting it up for him to become, like, the big, like, boss master of the school, and everyone will be like, oh man, we thought you were shit, but you're so great, you go, Iki, woo!
See, that's such lazy writing.
All the panties are gonna drop, he's gonna have, like, all the women to pick from, he's gonna pick the fiery princess, his watery sister is gonna be like, but I love you too, Ani-chan! And then everyone's just gonna, like, have all these awkward sexual interactions.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be more tits, and that's, like, the selling feature of the show is the tits.
Yeah, basically.
It's like a 14-year-old's wet dream. Oh no, Mom, I'm just watching anime!
See, they're like fighting and stuff.
Yeah. Nobody's taking their tops off or anything.
No.
Yep, that's the story about this anime.
Mm-hmm. That pretty much covers it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
I wasn't expecting to get this fired up, because when I finished, I was like, there's not a lot to talk about here.
Oh, sorry, it's probably me, because I'm
no.
like...
Then as we got into it, there was plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Final thoughts?
I think I said everything. Yeah, no, it's not a good show. The plot is predictable and bad, and the writing is terrible, and everything is basically a device to get the characters together. All the characters are kind of bland. I don't know, maybe that was just me. But no, like, the main character was bland, but the other characters were just too weird.
They're just to me, it was too tropey, too obvious, like...
That too, yeah.
Too obvious the way they're all gonna be and how they're all gonna act, and...
It's really obvious where the show is going. Like, it's so transparent. There's, like, no interest there, because you know how it's gonna end. You know what's gonna happen. It's no mystery.
No.
Yeah, so... I would not continue to watch this. I have no interest. I wrote in my notes, I said I'd rather watch Naruto. So
oh god. Oh boy.
That's pretty bad.
Laugh.
That was a very evil laugh.
That was.
This is a sexy trash fire, and I don't know if I'm gonna watch anymore. I probably won't. There's so many better things that I have on my list to watch.
Exactly.
But, like I said, this is like... If you're 14, and you don't know how to use the internet, and you don't know how to find porn, I highly recommend this anime. You're probably gonna get a boner, and it's gonna be something for you. Yeah, you're gonna, like, develop some really weird kinks from this show.
Some weird fetishes, whatever.
And that's okay. We all have them. But I would highly recommend you watch something besides this. Figure out how to find porn.
There's better stuff out there.
Yeah. But so many tits, man. Like, just, it boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Just watch hentai, man.
Yeah, you're better off.
Less plot, more banging.
There you go.
Go out.
More plot. More plot. This is maybe plot would make this better. This is 12 episodes, so like
I think so.
It's like 4 hours worth of trash, and then you're done.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Then you can go outside, play Pokemon Go, and talk to cute girls.
Oh god,
boys.
just go outside and play Pokemon Go. It's so great. I'm still addicted. You're lucky I'm here.
I saw that you got a Dragonite, but like its CP was really low.
There's a whole other story to that. I'm so pissed off. That's a story for another time.
Right.
But yep. He's better now. I fixed it.
So I guess that wraps things up.
Yeah, thanks,
Chivalry of a Failed Night.
Yeah, thanks, Liam.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys reacted so negatively to it. It's exactly what I wanted.
I will say, this is not nearly as bad as whatever my top worst anime is right now. Oh, that 9-1.
009-1.
Yeah, that's still the worst we've ever had to watch.
I'm glad I didn't have to watch that.
I mean, the worst for me is obviously Garzy's Wing, but that was enjoyable, so like the real worst is Gravitation for me.
I don't know what my
forgot
worst
about
is. I'd have to
that-
like
that
go
show.
back and figure it out.
Oh.
I don't know.
Bobobo was still pretty bad as
That's
well.
yeah. I was like Bobo was up there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't even
So
know.
let's move on to Kill La Kill.
Woo!
Alright, I gotta get the
Finally.
Yeah.
About time.
Okay. After the murder of her father, Ryuku Metoi has been wandering the land in search of his killer. Following her only lead, the missing half of his invention, the scissor blade, she arrives at the prestigious Honoji Academy, a high school unlike any other. The academy is ruled by the imposing and cold-hearted student council president Satsuki Kiryan, alongside her powerful underlings, the Elite Four. In the school's brutally competitive hierarchy, Satsuki bestows upon those at the top special clothes called Goku uniforms, which grant the wearer unique superhuman abilities. I'll leave the description at there because I don't want to deal with more of that grammar.
All good. Yeah.
So,
Mal.
Leah,
Oh,
I want
Mal.
to hear your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So I'm the only one who hasn't seen the first 3 episodes prior to this episode. And it obviously was really built up for me because, well, for one, Liam.
Liam hasn't stopped talking
Kill la
about
Kill.
it in like 7 months.
Yeah, like it's referenced all the time. So I was like, okay, well, this better be good.
This is Liam's death parade.
And I wasn't really sure, like,
It's true.
when I honestly didn't really know much about it other than like when it's on Netflix, like, you know, when they have the like cover photo of what it is. So like, I didn't really know a whole lot about the animation or even a whole lot about the story. And I know, Liam, you said it was kind of like a deconstruction.
Well, there's a lot of
bit.
different ways to look at it,
Yeah.
which I'll
we
get
can
into,
get into, but yeah,
it's
like,
fine.
so basically-
Before I had seen it, like when I saw the pictures of it or clips of it, I was like, this looks really weird, and I didn't think I would actually like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically I didn't really know what I was getting into, but anyway, initially though, it's so stylized, but like in an awesome way.
Yeah.
Like it's like really dramatic and really stylized in its animation, and you know, there's some animes where they have that too, but you get like annoyed with it, like it's too much. Even though in Kill la Kill it's like so constant throughout the entire episode, but it just works so well that you just like really enjoy it. And it's like over the top in a way that like suits the plot and you don't want to kill everyone. So that's kind of my initial kind of what I was noticing about Kill la Kill. Is just that was the first thing I noticed was its style. That sort of thing.
Definitely the first episode, they really bring it to you with like really hyper stylized over the top action. But even like the parts that aren't fights, they use like really absurd animation as like really clever ways to build tension. Like the first kind of scene is just this classroom, you know, and lots of anime start off with a classroom, except this classroom looks like it's kind of in like some Cold War like old ruined submarine or something. And then, like, this guy, the teacher's just doing the lesson, but the teacher looks like this hungover guy, like, wearing aviators. And you can see the shot from the back of the class, and you can see, like, one kid's, like, playing with action figures on his desk, and, like, no one's really listening. One character's sleeping and has, like, a huge snot bubble.
Yeah.
But it's, like, comically huge. And then this, like, enormous guy with, like, big gauntlets and like earrings and slick back blonde hair like bursts into the room, or he like punches the door open, and he's like so unbelievably
Yeah, he's so massive. At first,
massive.
like, you're still getting used to the animation and the style at that point, and he literally like fills the entire room. And I'm like, is he supposed to be like a giant or some like otherworldly being?
Yeah, no,
and then
he
goes back down to regular size, and you're like, oh no, it's going to be that kind of show.
Yeah, they're just using the animation to almost like literally translate like how much power the character is supposed to command. And of course the voice actor for that character is like perfect. He's got that like really perfect like deep
Gangster.
Japanese man voice.
Aww.
And he just like he's got so many good lines in the show where he just like screams at people, because he's like the Iraq Hamagori, the school disciplinary chair or committee
Yeah.
chair member, and he just like screams at people and tells them to follow the rules or else they'll be crushed beneath his fists. And yeah. And then so the next little bit is kind of this action scene because like this one kid has stolen one of the powerful 1-star Goku uniforms, and he like puts it on and gets these superpowers, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm so powerful! You can never defeat me." And then Arakemagori reveals that he's wearing like a 3-star Goku uniform, so he just like whips him so hard against the wall, like the uniform just falls off him.
He's like
And
completely naked.
then
Yeah.
he just like casually catches the uniform and it's perfectly folded, and he like dusts it off and hands it to his underlings. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about just the first episode for a really long time.
I like
And-
that you have it like memorized. You're just like,
I've seen
I'll
it.
just
I've seen it a
Google
lot, and I've
you.
watched like I said last week. Digibro has a good few episodes where he talks about Kill la Kill. So a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is stuff that Digibro's pointed out to me.
Oh, yeah. But still, props.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff in Kill la Kill is taking typical like anime tropes. Like the scene after the scene with Arakemagori, it's like this huge, like really well animated panoramic shot, like zooming through this massive city. Where, by the way, the high school is like this enormous fortress on top of this huge city on a mountain. So like, and then it zooms out, and then it goes to this girl just standing at the bottom of a pier, and then her name title like flashes across the screen in like big red letters. By the way, that also happens with Arakemagori. Every time they introduce a character, they have like kanji that's so huge it fills up the entire screen, and it like slams on almost like in Tarantino style, but like more over the top. And that it's like says what their title is, and then so when that happens with the main character Ryuko, it's just like Ryuki Matoi, transfer student. And yeah,
I
As
actually
always.
wanted to talk about the name a little bit because
Yeah.
I was kind of interested in it, like reading the katakana for Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
So it's like Kira Kill kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Anyway, it's interesting because Kiru in Japanese can also mean to wear.
Oh.
So it's like because katakana is used for English pronunciation, so it sounds like kill in English, but it also can have the
Means
Japanese
to
meaning
wear.
of to wear, which is
That's
such
so
a big
clever.
thing in Kill la Kill because it's all based off of their like powerful uniforms.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
guess
it's all based around clothing, sort of.
yeah, which that I kind of knew already, and then I like actually went to like look it up, and then I guess kiru can also mean to cut and to sever when it's written in hiragana and kanji form.
That's a very
Anyway.
clever name.
So yeah, so it's actually
Yeah,
really
I-
clever, which I
I
think
had
just kind of
heard
like
about that,
preludes to like how much thoughts actually went into this anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had heard
And-
about that too through the YouTuber Aki Dearest.
Oh yeah.
She has a video, I think it's like, 10 things you didn't know about Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like-
she explains a lot of things. They're pretty neat, but the thing that kind of stood out the most was like the hidden things in the language that like doesn't always translate over, but if you kind of dig into it a bit, it does, especially with like some of the stuff the character Mako says in her like really long fast speeches that I wouldn't have known about if it weren't for Aki Dearest.
We've watched.
Um,
I was gonna say we've watched a couple animes where like pun humor is kind of like the humor that's in the show.
Or like
As-
a play on words.
Yeah, but it's all Japanese play on words, so it doesn't
Yes.
translate well to English at all.
It's
So-
it's
Yeah.
it's hard as an English anime.
What I like
watcher.
about
Yeah.
Kill la Kill is you can go like really deep into it and talk about that kind of stuff if you want, but if you don't want, it's also just a really good show to like watch and enjoy, like over the top action and comedy.
No, what I was gonna say is I'll post it because there's actually a really good article about all the hidden meanings and the names of the characters and like how things
Yeah.
are written and stuff like that. Like it's actually really interesting.
Yeah. I also
Ooh.
heard of an interesting theory, and I won't go too deep into it because it's be complicated, that like all of the characters in Kill la Kill are based off of like Japanese gods or
Oh
something.
man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's I don't think we have enough time for that conversation.
Can you post that one up too?
That came from the same Digibro.
Okay.
So I would just say check out Digibro's Kill a Kill videos and also Aki Dearest's Kill a Kill video.
We'll post links somewhere.
More into like the plot of the episodes. Ryuko is a transfer student, and she shows up at the school, and she's kind of not really following the rules. And then she's carrying this big case on her back, and she eventually like opens up the case, and it's like this enormous red blade, but it's like half of a pair of scissors. There's this enormous red scissor blade, and she's like, the person who killed my father also has a scissor blade. And she kind of butts head with Satsuki, the head of the high school committee, which basically
she's also kind of like the ruler of the town.
Yeah, she rules the whole town basically because she like controls the high school. And then Ryuko also befriends Mako, who's this kind of really, really fast-talking schoolgirl who's, like, really dumb, but so lovable.
Cute.
Sorry, I wish I could explain more, but, like, I'm struggling trying to figure out which are the most important details to explain without, like, rambling too much and explaining too much. But basically, she ends up meeting this magical schoolgirl sailor uniform who
it's sentient,
kind of someone
basically.
Not to spoil much, a guy sets up that she like stumbles upon this uniform and some of her blood gets on it, which like awakens it, and then the uniform like gets so like hungry from the blood, he's just like, give me more, and she's the only one that can hear him talk, and he like forcibly attaches himself to her. He's like, put me on, and she's like, no, what the fuck are you doing? why is this uniform talking to me? And yeah. I feel like it'll be interesting to hear what Leah thinks about this, since she hasn't seen the whole thing like I have.
Well, I was gonna say just a little more like for the listeners. So basically, yeah, she ends up with that suit, and then the next 2 episodes are kind of her learning how to fight with the suit and battling some of the other students from the school. Because she's just trying to find out information about her dad. But it's funny because the suit, when it goes into like attack mode, ends up being like super skimpy, like suspenders that like just cover the nipples. Otherwise, her entire torso is like, completely naked. Like,
yeah,
almost like
it's bits of string.
Suit. It's a string with
she's
like exaggerated shoulder sailor.
Trying to fight people, and like everyone around her is like, "Oh my god, you're showing so much skin," and she's like, "Shut up! I don't want to show this much skin." But this suit like makes her stronger, so she does it anyways. And yeah, they kind of set it up where like the high school students who lead extracurricular clubs get 2-star Goku uniforms, which give them superpowers. So in the first episode, after she gets her suit, she goes up against the boxing club president, and he's got this ridiculous uniform where his boxing gloves are like enormous spiked bricks. So she like has a boxing match with him, and that's pretty funny. And like lots of really, really over the top cuts. Some of it's like they've almost animated it like clip art, but it's just so entertaining. Just the style. It's kind of hard to explain.
That's to say, it's kind of a hard anime to talk about because like I really enjoyed it. Like I really, really did.
Also, technically,
it's a
magical girl anime.
It is, but
honestly,
I think we could just. That's because I think
it's a lot of genres.
The best way to discuss this show is honestly just getting into the whole idea that it's a deconstruction. Because
I don't know if deconstruction's the right word. I usually
not necessarily
like to say it's. These days I like to say it's more of like it's just a satire of anime tropes, or it'll try and like take kind of the pervy, the stuff we might call pervy from Chivalry of a Failed Knight, and it's like it makes them so ridiculous it almost desexualizes them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
and
also,
it-
the first time we talked about it, I think we mentioned that the blood getting on the sailor uniform and like activating it is like a period metaphor.
I remember that. I wrote that down. Sorry.
So like if she
She's a
bleeds
woman
on the
now.
if she
Yeah.
bleeds on the schoolgirl uniform, she gets like superhuman powers. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then
I think the thing we're forgetting to mention is that Ryo is like a badass bitch.
yeah, no, she
yeah,
doesn't
and
take
I
any
love the
shit.
voice actress they
Yeah.
picked for her is awesome.
Oh,
She's
yes.
got that like rough kind of voice, but I don't know. It's nice to see like I know a lot of the show is them kind of like making fun of like tropes and other genres and kind of almost making fun of itself in a way, but it's still nice to see like some actual like powerful woman characters, which I know sounds bad, but like
Yeah,
they're not
which is
idiots,
good.
but they're still females and
Well, and
yeah, it's
smart
good
and they're
because
strong and,
the two main. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I haven't found any other anime female characters quite like her. Like, she's a little bit punk and rock and roll and like, fuck everyone else, I'm gonna do what I want and I'm here to fuck shit up and find my dad. So,
That's very
let's
true.
do it.
Well, she's
And-
there to avenge her dad.
Yeah, and I know that was one of the things that I really loved about it when I first watched it, is just her attitude towards everything. She's not gonna sit there and be upset that she has to be naked, she's just gonna get shit done. And
Yeah.
well, she gets a little not upset, but she's
Well,
a little like embarrassed.
but
at
it's
first.
More
not-
on that in a sec.
But it's not
Yeah.
like other animes where like the girl breaks down crying and then needs to like have that pep talk to like remind herself that she can do this because she's a capable female. Like Ryo, she knows that she can handle anything and she just like goes for it, whether she's upset about it or not. She doesn't cry. And
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
like that.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Ryuko and strong female characters in anime, the two main characters of the show are pretty much like Ryuko and Satsuki. And Satsuki is like takes the badass level of Ryuko and kind of like, well, it takes a different angle, but she's just like, you know, the ultimate grand ruler of this entire city and just like has such a commanding gaze and always has this like dark frown and is deadly serious all the time. And I think she's just like, she's really fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
And when you get closer, well, in the second episode, it's mostly Ryuko fighting the tennis club president, which is pretty hilarious because she's got like, she's
Yeah.
wearing like the tennis visor, but it has like a rotating, like telescopic, like sniper rifle thing underneath it. And her racket is like 2 times as tall as her. And her tennis skirt has like 100 tennis balls underneath it that just billow out. And they're like trying to torture Mako. They like tie her to a stake and just like fire millions of tennis balls at her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she missed practice and it's because she was like kidnapped the day before, but
Yeah.
they don't care about that.
Back to the first episode for a sec. They try to like lure Ryuko back to the school by like, because like they saw her talking with Mako the day before, so they assume she's her best friend. So they like tie Mako up to a board upside down and like threaten to like bread and like deep fry her like a tempura.
Oh yeah.
And she's like hanging upside down and her skirt's falling down. And she's like, "Oh no, I didn't even wear my sexy panties today." Yeah, that part was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that they're not afraid to like they're acknowledging what's happening. They're acknowledging this fan service. They're goofy about it, but they've still managed to like stylize the whole thing in a way that it's
It's its own thing, right?
It's its own thing, exactly. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
Which is why
one thing-
it's hard to talk about.
Back
Yeah.
to the kind of badassness of Ryuko. In the first episode, she like goes to a street vendor and buys a lemon, and just like on her walk to school,
Oh,
she
yeah.
she just bites into a raw lemon like without peeling it. That's her snack. And then like this pickpocket
Oh yeah,
tries
I
to like
cringed
steal
at
her
that.
wallet,
I was like,
and
oh god.
yeah, all he ends up stealing is a lemon, and he's just like, "What? Why was you just eating a lemon?"
It just
And
shows
she-
how badass she
Perfect.
is.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Hey, punk, give me back my lemon," and she like beats up him and all the hooligans, and yeah.
Good intro.
Anyway, the third episode is probably my favorite in the whole series because it gets, well, by the end of the second episode and in the third episode, they explain more about Satsuki because when she discovers that Ryuko has the sailor uniform, which is referred to as a kamui, she like is really surprised, and she like goes into her mansion / castle, and despite like her butler and mentor being like, no, you aren't supposed to put it on, she like
You're not ready
she unlocks her own kamui and puts it on, and it's like mysterious and stuff, and hers is white. So in the third
and
episode,
it means purity.
yeah, Ryuko, she names hers Senketsu, which is fresh blood translated.
Oh.
And then Satsuki, hers is named Junketsu, which means purity, like Leah said. So the third episode is like, it kind of builds up to this big clash between Ryuko and Satsuki, because Ryuko is kind of, over the 3 episodes, she's asking her, it's like, you know something about my father, did you kill him? And Satsuki's like, you're not worthy for me to tell you anything. And then so they end up like leading to this big clash, and Lady Satsuki unlocks, she has this huge badass transformation sequence where Junketsu also turns into like an extremely skimpy outfit. She's like not phased by it as at all. She's just like, I don't care, like naked is like power in its true form. I'm not ashamed of anything. And she just like beats the shit out of Ryuko. And then Sensuke's talking to Ryuko. He's like, you're gonna run out of blood soon. You're gonna pass out. It's like, you've never truly been wearing me naturally. You're always
he's like,
you're always embarrassed by the skimpiness.
Wearing each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually Ryuko like realizes, it's like, oh wait, I don't need to be ashamed of wearing you. It's like, I need to in order to truly put you on, I need to become completely naked, metaphorically. I know it's hard to remember what the exact words are, but
she's like
she unlocks,
has to accept that she's half naked, and that's the form that he is, in order so they can like actually like work 100% together.
Yeah, and then she gets an equally as badass transformation sequence. And then Satsuki's like, oh, finally, things are starting to get fun. And they have this, like, sword fight with the most ridiculous explosions. And, like, just the
crowds are flying everywhere.
Yeah, like, the people watching just, like, get thrown around by this hurricane. And it's amazing. And then probably my favorite shot of the whole series is, like, Ryuko like gets her sword back, ready to swing, but then like the handle of the scissor like pops open and turns into like a bigger handle, and then the sword transforms into a sword that's like twice as long, and then she's like, scissor blade decapitation mode. The big red text shows up over the screen, and it's just like, holy fuck, that's a big fucking sword. And then like the badass song where it's like, don't lose your way, plays, which plays like almost every episode, and it's good every time. And yeah, and it just ends in this more explosions, more carnage, and then the episode ends kind of like before the fight ends. I think it ends with a shot of like Satsuki's heel hitting the ground with this click noise, and then she like smirks or something.
No, the third or second episode.
Third. No, it's fresh for you.
Yeah, the third episode ends with so after they like have their epic battle, and it's kind of like a tie basically, and they're both like have had enough. It's I'm sorry, I don't really know their names very well, but
that's
it's okay.
The main head boss chick.
Yeah, Satsuki.
Satsuki?
Yeah.
Okay, well basically she's like if you can defeat basically all the students in this school, you'll get the chance to defeat me, like to fight me again, and finally defeat me, and I promise I'll tell you about what happened to your father, and that sort of thing. So now she has to fight like the entire school.
Dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, and that kind of sets up, it kind of gives you a teaser of like what the rest of the show is gonna be like, but once you watch more of the show, it slowly gets to be much more than just defeating the other like club leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I will attempt to remain spoiler free, but it gets pretty ridiculous, especially considering how ridiculous the third episode is.
Ridiculous in a good way, though.
Yeah, no. But yeah, what did you think of the decapitation mode? When you saw that, where you're just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, I don't usually watch like really dramatic or stylized anime, but again, because they kind of are like they're really, really doing it on purpose, you just kind of take it as it is, and you just like enjoy it, and you're like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, back to my earlier point, like you can talk about the satire of Japanese tropes or like the hidden meanings in the language.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want to get into that kind of stuff, you don't have to.
Did you hear the laughter in the background?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go tell him to shut the fuck up.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
That's like the only time it happened.
Yeah.
We're
They
gonna
know
wrap
better.
things up soon, anyways. So yeah, you can go really deep into Kill la Kill, but you can also just enjoy some sweet sword fighting.
And
Yay.
hot badass babes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's so great. Like, I love her as a character. I fucking need to
Mhm.
finish watching Kill la Kill.
I love a lot of the characters in it. Like when you watch a bit more, you get to see more of like Satsuki's Elite Four, which is Kamiguri, and then 3 other like kind of club presidents.
The
And
club
they're all
is-
pretty great.
Is it the band club leader? She's styled almost identically to Nico from Kisniver. As just as a
Yeah,
thought.
well, this
But
is
it's
a
by the
Trigger
same,
anime.
Yeah, they're the same company, so
Yeah.
I just find that interesting.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it's interesting watching
carries over.
Kisniver and like seeing how they still like keep their style, but like tone it down a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
And a lot of the same animation kind of shows up in Gurren Lagann, which came before this. So
Yeah.
if
I
you like
remember-
Kill, if you like Gurren Lagann, you'll like Kill la Kill, and vice versa.
Yeah. I remember putting that similarity, like Gurren Lagann. I haven't seen all of it, but it reminds me a lot of Kill la Kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of similar over-the-top action and themes.
Lots of
Yeah,
really
so-
big, epic stuff happening.
So, Leah / everybody else, are you gonna watch more Kill la Kill?
I think I'll keep going. It's different enough that it's got me interested, and I like the animation. Not that it's over the top, but it's almost kind of like a cartoon. It's not
Mhm.
actually. It's like
a little bit
it's
Bugs Bunny
clean,
at
but
times.
or sorry, it's kind of messy, but like clean at the same time.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the characters are interesting enough, especially the main girl character. Like you never see that ever. And I don't
No.
just mean like a strong female, but you know, she's powerful, she's funny, she's got her own personality. Like Becca was saying, you haven't really seen her in anything else before. Like I can't really compare her to another anime female character I know, which just kind of makes it more interesting.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yee.
Oh, can I
So-
also say I love her like pervy teacher.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
like
there's
so-
okay. The plot line with her pervy teacher gets so funny.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah.
that because like basically.
Oh yeah, we didn't
when you
touch on that at all.
Yeah,
I
when you
forgot.
first meet him, he's like stooped over. He's got the big round glasses you can't see his eyes through, and he looks like he's kind of just like this quiet,
He's such a
nerdy
nerd.
creep or whatever.
But yeah,
And then all of a sudden, when he gets more involved in the story, you find out he just like whips off his glasses, his hair gets all sexy, and he starts like disrobing all the time, and he's just
yeah,
like
and like
slowly trying to like get
Every
closer
time,
and closer
yeah.
to the main character. And
every
she's like,
time he
"You're a
does it,
pervert."
all these like dramatic lens flare and lights show up, and like his body doesn't move, but his shirt just slowly
Yeah.
slides off his body.
Yeah.
And Ryoko's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And
Yeah.
he's just like, "Let me explain to you how a kamui works."
Now at school we have to keep our relationship hidden, but right now you don't have to be shy.
Yeah, he like acts super sexy, but technically he like never really makes a move on her, and that kind of makes more sense when you get more into his character
Spoilers!
later. Yeah,
That's fine.
It
This
makes-
doesn't really seem like a show that has romance in it to me.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
got
like
its
that would
own
take away
special
from
kind
it.
of romance.
So I don't. Veda and I watched this back when, like we said, on one of our Lost episodes.
A year ago.
A while ago, yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, ish, roughly. Yeah, I know. I'm up to episode 8. I kept watching it because I really enjoyed it. My biggest gripe is that I have to watch it dubbed or subtitled. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
There is
okay.
I was gonna mention this before
I watched
we
the
were
third
done.
episode in the dub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, is the dub on Netflix now?
Oh, I don't know. I'm watching it on the internet.
Okay, because like I've seen bits of the dub just to compare it, and the dub like is, I don't know if it's because I watched the whole thing in sub first, but I can't stand the dub. I don't like it at all.
That's
So
generally
having
happens.
like, because I watched the first 2 episodes in Japanese, and then I was like, okay, well, I feel like I should watch the third in the dub just to like, see how it is. It wasn't terrible. That said, I only watched 1 episode in the dub.
Mhm.
Like sub, oh god, definitely it's better. But like the main girl, her voice in English actually is kind of comparable in tone.
Mhm.
But I didn't really get to hear a lot of the other characters' voices because
The main issues for me were Mako, and her Japanese voice actress can do that really, like the high pitched, fast talking girl really well. The English is just eh. And then Ira Kamaguri, Ira Kamaguri, who's like the really deep voice, like loud, angry Japanese guy. Like the English one, it just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, like the main girl's English voice is the only one that I was like pretty okay with. I mean, she's the main character, so it's a good thing. But yeah, her really excitable friend who goes on the really long rants. Like any character like her is going to be annoying in English because they try and put an English speaking high pitched like voice, and it just never works. It doesn't work in English. It's just annoying.
It's just because it's not a thing in English at all.
Exactly.
Right?
So it just doesn't work. It doesn't work with our language. It doesn't work with how we speak. It just doesn't work.
Also, I think that the English dub isn't done by Funimation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's done by a different company, so that's why I was like,
that's interesting.
I'm gonna look that up right now. But Japanese dub, so good.
Very.
It's really good.
Getting back to my point, because I've heard that the dub is not good, I only watch it subtitled, and that takes committed watching, and I'm a really like multitasker kind of watcher usually, so it needs like dedicated watching time, and I don't always have that time, so that's why I've slowed down on it, but I'm still, it's on my list.
Yep.
Veda?
I think I've watched 5 episodes. I haven't watched very many. And it's not like I watch anime subtitled all the time, so like that's not why. I don't know what it is. I have to really be in the mood for it, and I think it's because like
I would agree with
maybe
that.
because there is
particular.
Yeah, there is so much like going on visually. I don't know that I'm just like sometimes I just need something that I can watch and just be like, stuff is happening. People are happy. Like, I don't know.
Maybe Chivalry of a Failed Knight will do it for you, Veda.
God, no.
So, what's happening? People are happy.
How many times everybody's... No. Okay? That's... Veda is angry. She's not watching this show. No. I'll just go watch more Hunter.
I love it when Veda gets riled up.
I love it when she hates the anime. Veda's the best.
I just feel bad because I feel like I hate every harem that I watch, and I'm just like, I've never seen one that I've actually really liked, and I feel bad.
Maybe you're just not a harem kind of girl.
Maybe it's just not my type, I guess.
Figured it out. It's Aniplex, not Funimation.
Aniplex.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of the good voice actors from Aniplex moved over to Funimation.
Yeah.
After Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, so...
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, I would keep watching more. I just, like I said, had to be ready for it.
Yeah. That was kind of where I was at when I was watching Super Lovers. When I needed something shitty, Super Lovers was there for me.
Had your back.
Yeah, it's got me. It's got me. Well, should we move to the marble draw? Or is there more to say?
Shall.
All right. Who's picking? Veda's picking this week.
I picked. It's
Yeah.
probably extremely obvious what I'm gonna pick. So.
Well, maybe not to the listeners. Don't
Maybe
spoil
not.
the fun.
I actually
Okay.
don't know. I guess I'm the goldfish.
It's all good. I'm
Veda's
sure
been
Becca
waiting
knows.
to give us this shit.
I'll remember as soon as it's said.
Yeah.
She's evil laughing.
Veda's been planning for like a month and a half, guys.
I haven't been planning. I just haven't been Red Marble in forever.
That's true. Alright, who would like to go first for marble draw?
I don't know.
Click, 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 click.
Me?
Veda.
Sure.
I
Leah.
don't know. Whoever.
Leah's a white marble.
I'm always a white marble.
Veda.
I never
You're
get to
the
have
me.
any fun.
You're the red
Me.
marble again, Veda. How
What?
exciting. Yeah.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh.
2 weeks of Veda.
Oh.
Oh.
Who am I gonna
She's so
bring
stunned.
with me?
She's like,
Well, I didn't expect that to happen, so I didn't have anybody picked to watch the bad one with me.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's 3 choices.
Veda's like, I wanted to watch the good one.
No. I was gonna volunteer to watch the bad one.
Oh boy.
you can pick yourself. Well, I guess you don't need to. You're the red marble. But...
No. I have to pick somebody.
She has to
watch
pick
it with.
somebody. We're all gonna gang up on her.
I'm gonna pick Liam.
Oh, poor
Expected
Liam.
as much.
Poor Liam.
I have to. This is how it's gonna work.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, I'm gonna say the animes now. Which one do you want? Do you want me to say the bad one?
Now
Hit
let's do
me.
the good one first.
Do the good one. Okay. So, I've been waiting for this for a while, and I'm a fucking tap-tappy game person, so all of you should probably know where this is going. But the good anime
Oh, yeah.
for this week... Oh wait, I should say the theme first, shouldn't I?
Is it tappy tap?
Tap,
Not
tap, tap.
quite, it's idols. So,
Oh, God.
Japanese idols. I know, all you guys are groaning. You're like, no,
Hmm.
please, no.
I'm
I
probably
don't know
gonna
how
love
this
it.
will go. We're gonna do boys versus girls. And the girls have a higher rating, so the good anime is Love Live School Idol Project.
How did
You
I
all
not know
love me
this?
so much right now. I just hear it. Okay, let me see if I can read this. Otonokizaka High School is in a crisis. With the number of enrolling students dropping lower and lower every year, the school is set to shut down after its current first years graduate. However, second year Honoka Kosaka refuses to let it go without a fight. Searching for a solution, she comes across popular school idol group A Rise and sets out to create a school idol group of her own. With the help of her childhood friends Umi Sonoda and Kotori Minami, Honoka forms Muse to boost awareness and popularity of her school. Hooray! There's more, but you don't need. That's pretty much all you need to know for now.
Jada, when you read Japanese, it's beautiful.
Aw, you're
Your
so
dad.
kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's because I listen to a lot of music in
You just-
Japanese.
Hey, so do I, and my accent's terrible, so just take the compliment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, especially because I don't give out a lot.
You guys are so nice. So yeah, that has a, what is it? A 7.72 on my anime list. Don't inhale like that.
Love Live's supposed to be the good one.
It's just a good one. That's good for Mal. Okay.
We'll see what next week brings.
You'll probably all just be like, we hated it. How dare you do this to us?
And then
This
Mackenzie
is
will
all-
disown us all.
I know.
Yeah.
This is all very shoujo, you guys. So the bad anime is called B Project Kodo Ambitious.
Oh god.
I don't know why. So, the anime's story follows Tsubasa, a new hire at the A&R department of the major recording company Gondola Music. Tsubasa is immediately assigned to oversee the idol unit B Project, which is made up of 3 idol groups: Kitakore, Thrive, and Moons. This is Tsubasa's first job, and she gets involved in various incidents and accidents as she deals with this group of young men who each have their own differing personalities.
Wonderful.
It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It's basically a reverse harem with
Oh,
singing
damn it.
boys.
I love reverse harems. Well, I love a reverse harem.
Oh boy.
You guys are gonna have so much fun this week.
Oh, I'm so
It
excited
sounds
already.
like gravitation all over again.
I'm too addicted to
It's
Pokemon
not-
Go, Veda. I'm not going to start playing tap-tap games on top of it.
It's okay. I don't think the anime won't get you into the tap-tappy game, but
Thank God.
you know, it's a nice fun side game.
Hmm.
Wink.
too addicted to Pokemon Go. That's the only side game I need.
And you and your Pokemans.
They're so great.
They are cute, I will give them that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yay!
So that's what we're doing.
I hope they sing. I've been wanting a musical anime, so I really hope they actually sing.
They sing.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The only musical anime I think I've ever actually seen was Mongolian Chop Squad.
I've never heard of that.
Yep.
Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad? No.
Nope.
And Nodame Cantabile is kind of one, but no one sings in that, but it is a music anime. That's all
I've always wanted to see an anime that was like a musical.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like Phantom of the Opera.
Where like the story's happening, and then to resolve the story, they start singing.
Oh
That's
god.
what I want.
I don't think that's exactly what you'll get, Becca, but
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I just want Wretched in anime form.
I know. I would be so down for that.
Or like
But
that
yeah.
Buffy episode.
Yeah, that
Yes!
Buffy episode's great.
Oh,
They should make
God.
Buffy an anime.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that would end well.
A good anime.
A good anime.
Not a bad anime. I'm done.
Fair enough.
I'm done
All
thinking
right.
about it.
Alright, everybody. Thanks
Woo!
for listening.
Good episode.
Yeah. Check us
Social
out
media?
on Facebook and Podbean and iTunes and eventually YouTube. Probably at least a single episode on YouTube at this point. It's basically just a repeat of our episodes. Fingers crossed. We're kind of dragging our feet on that a little bit.
Sorry.
But if you agree with our thoughts on these animes, let us know. If you disagree, let us know.
Give us some
Oh.
recommendations for
Yeah.
what you want to see us watch
Yeah.
and cry about.
Mm-hmm.
Arigato gozaimasu.
See.
Hi.
Ohio! No?
Oh,
That's
hi.
No.
good morning.
Well, it might be morning for people listening to us.
Well, on that note,
Uh-huh.
bye.
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 Sayonara.